Hi everyone, Jessica here from Paper Ink Stamp and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be something a little different. So I wanted to just talk about kind of losing your crafty mojo. So I have got just beside of me a couple of magazines that I was planning to do videos on. So we have got the Simply Cards and Papercraft issue 239, which comes with this butterfly florals and this really lovely Pink Fresh Studio butterfly stamp and die. I have used this. I just made a card, a get well soon card, and used this and I absolutely loved it. And then we do have Die Cut and Essentials issue 98, which has got the Eucalyptus Wishes. Now I don't know what I want to make. I'm kind of a little frustrated. I think that I'm kind of having a little bit of a loss of sort of crafty mojo, sort of inspiration and things like that. I have been working on some commissions as well, so sometimes that kind of sucks everything out of me a little bit. But I was then trying to figure out what I wanted to do a video on basically today, and yeah, I just decided it wasn't going to be the magazines. I'm hoping these are going to be coming next week for you, just where I get like a few more ideas and things. But let me know how you kind of deal with losing your crafty mojo, if it happens kind of often. I'm wondering if it's the time of year. So I live in South Wales. It's very cold here at the minute. We've had some snow as well, and it's just really difficult to kind of get motivated generally, not just, you know, with crafting. So I kind of struggle with that, maybe it being January, sort of the come down from Christmas, I guess, as well. So yeah, kind of struggling a little bit at the moment. So what I decided to do, I went through kind of my paper packs, and yeah, I was trying to think, what do I want to create a video on? And I went through some of my Paper Boutique packs, and then I just really wasn't feeling it, to be honest. But I've decided, and I've picked out two paper pads that I had. So this one is Let's Celebrate by, this is a fish edition paper. This is the 6x6, which I don't think I've used as far as I'm aware. I have got it in the 8x8, which I bought a long time ago, which I'm still working my way through. But I've got a lot of papers and I think I need to start working through it a little bit. But what I do kind of struggle with sometimes is people ask me if I've got a card, you know, birthday card or whatever, last minute, if maybe I've forgotten somebody's birthday. I don't always have just a card on hand that is just going to work. So I've got this one, and then I've also got, which I've got a lot of scraps for, is this one, Grand Plans, again another first edition. This is 8x8, but I'm going to make some male themed birthday cards as well. Again, lots of scraps in here that we can use up. Really is going to need to be used up in another video. But yeah, I figured, oh, that's quite a nice paper. That's a little bit more sort of boy baby, I think, which is quite nice. But they're not overly kind of birthday themed, I don't think. Whereas this one is obviously, you know, a proper birthday paper pad. But we're going to work with this one to begin with. So I'll just put that to one side. So because this is 6x6, I was thinking about working on 5x5 inch cards and then trimming this down, and then I'd be able to mat and layer them. But I think I picked sort of all of these 6x6 cards I had, and I've got 32 here. So I was thinking I might just make literally 32 cards with this paper. So I am going to trim these down just to give me the white border, but again, so I could mat and layer these, but that's just going to end up taking up quite a bit of my coloured cardstock, and I don't have tons of it left at the moment. I have already done some die cutting just to kind of speed things up a little bit. So what I did have is this metallic glitter pad. This was from the Works, 6 colours, 180 GSM, and I figured that I would just try to use some of it up. Again, I'm just trying to use some of my supplies. So I've cut, I think it was 6 that I got from each sheet. I have got more than what I need, but I can use them for different cards end project. So we're going to use this as a back-end. So for this, to die cut these, I used the Creative Craft Products Scalloped Circle Nesting dies, and I will leave links to the products in the description box down below. In terms of sizes, so this is sort of just under sort of 3.5 inches for those. And then for our sentiment, so basically we're just going to matte and layer a white circle on top of that. This I just cut from some plain cardstock, and this is 3 inches. And for these I used the, again, Creative Craft Products Circle Nesting dies. These are the plain ones, but you do get a really nice little raised edge on it, which I think is really nice. So again, I'll link those in the description box down below. In terms of a sentiment, which I'm hoping is still going to fit, I think it was this here. This is the Elizabeth Craft Designs. What's it called? This is Your Day. Again, I'll see if I can link it down below, but we're just going to use this Happy Birthday, and we're just going to stamp that on there. So really, really simple. I'm hoping that this little bit of batch card making is going to kind of bring back my crafty mojo a little bit. I will kind of walk through bits and pieces. I might speed things up because, again, I've got to like stamp and matte and layer onto here. So I might just speed up through those little bits so this video isn't super duper long. But yeah, I was planning to do 16 cards with this and then 16 with the grand plans, but sort of looking at these, just pull this out. Let's actually pull out the papers that I want to use from here and really sort of see what we've got. We've definitely got a scraps video that we probably need to do, because we have got a lot of scraps here. I find this pad, I was really hoping that this would be a really great masculine pad, but I do kind of struggle with it a little bit, just in the sense of the colours. Let's do 2, there's more scraps there. Let's do those. Again, I don't think they're like massively sort of birthday themed, but they are really great, again, kind of masculine papers. Let's do one of those. Actually, let's do 2 of those. I really like this paper here. Again, to me that's maybe a little bit more baby. We've got some more plainer ones. Let's do a watches. I've only got one of those. Let's do the mustache. Let's do one of those. Let's just do the balls. Actually, let's pick 2 more, and then we can just pick an even 20 out of the other pads. So you can see I'm very sort of just, yeah, indecisive. I'm just not 100% sure what it is that I, you know, want to do. So yeah, let me know if you guys ever get like that. Again, you lose your crafty mojo, you're not really sure sort of what it is that you want to do. It's really tough because you kind of sit down and you do really just start to procrastinate quite a bit, which isn't something, you know, that you really sort of want to be in that position. You want to just be able to come in and sort of craft and that, but it can be, yeah, quite difficult. So let me know, do you guys go through that? Is there a particular time of the year that you find that happens? I always find it in December because, again, that's sort of that lull after Christmas. It's still very much cold. You're kind of looking forward to the year ahead, and you want to just sort of get into that little bit of warmer weather. I'm really looking forward to kind of March time, I think, when, you know, hopefully, fingers crossed, things start to pick up a little bit. It doesn't quite get as cold, and, you know, things start to grow and come back and all that, and you can just sort of sit outside a little bit more, I think, as well. So yeah, that is So something that I'm struggling with at the moment, which is a shame as well, because I brought out my paper pads and my paper collection as well. But sort of as soon as that came out, I just kind of, like I said, just sort of lost my crafty mojo with it a little bit, which is a shame. You can go onto my website. There is a link in the description box down below to that paper collection. I have got more videos which I was planning to do as well. I've got a couple of extra cards that I've made using my paper collection and the ephemera and things like that. But to be honest, I just haven't gotten around to editing, which is not very good at all, really. But when you're just sort of not in the mood, it can be really difficult. And I've sort of been going through sort of backing and forthing on really what I wanted to do this year. I did kind of have a clear plan, but things have changed a little bit. So yeah, I'm just not really 100% sure what it is that I want to do, and I think that's not really helping it towards my sort of crafty mood and that. Okay, so we've cut these down. So these are 5 3/4 inches square. So these are just gonna get glued on to our background. So again, you could matte and layer these. I do love matte and layer, and I think it looks really nice, but I think this is just going to be an easy way of sort of creating these cards. So what I'm going to do now is pick out, so I've got those cut down. So I'm trying to do this in a production, sort of a production line way, really. So I'm kind of cutting everything. I did all my die cutting. We're going to do all of the cutting of the background papers. Then we're going to stamp the sentiments on as well. So the ones that I 100% want to use is definitely these more sort of birthday themed ones. So I'm going to go through and just pick out one of each of what I want to use. I absolutely loved this paper when I think I picked these up cheap from a website that I don't think is around anymore. I think it was Craft Label, unless it's gone to a different unless it's gone to under a different name. I'm not sure, but they had like some of these quite cheap, so I think that's why I picked up these in the smaller size. I don't tend to go for a 6x6 inch pad, but again, you can use them on a 6-inch card quite nicely. Some of these are double-sided, so I'm going to use that one. Let's just go with a flower. Yeah, so it's really good to have just cards. I mean, I make cards literally all the time, so I always have kind of cards hanging around, but annoyingly, they're just never the cards that I want in that moment. I'm not sure why, and it's kind of frustrating really, because I've always got cards around, but they're just not the cards that I want to send. So let's see how many we've got there. So my hands are so cold as well, like, that I struggle to get them out. So 15, let's go back and find, so I really love all of these characters. 16, little dogs. 17, 18, let's do this one. 19, so we just want one more. So, let's see. I feel like the balloons would be another good one, or we could do the ice creams again. What do we want to pick? So we could do the ice cream, or we could do another balloon. Let's just do the ice creams. Okay, so we've used up quite a bit, you know, of that. Maybe we need to look at sort of getting rid of that completely. So I'm just going to cut these down now. So these are already 6, but I'm going to cut them down literally just to take a small slither off, again to be 5 3/4 inches. Okay, so there we have all of our papers, again cut down, and some of these have got some really nice sort of foiled detail, but yeah, just making super quick and easy cards. If you forget a birthday, much like I do, then you know you've got cards kind of on hand. So the next thing we're going to do is stamp our sentiment. So the one thing that I would say is definitely going to help with this is to use a template. Now, so this is just a piece of scrap, obviously, where I've die cut the circle from, but I kept one of them. Let's add a little bit of tape just to hold this bottom part down, if I can find, there we go, the end. So let's just hold this little bit down there. So all we need to do is literally just pop that in, and this is then going to be in place for all of them. So, I mean, it doesn't have to be, you know, in the exact same place. You're not going to be sending like multiple cards all at the same time to the same household. You might, you know, you potentially might do. If that's the case, then whether you send the exact same cards, you know, just with the different papers, you know, is obviously up to you, but at least you've kind of got them there. So I'm going to use some Versafine ink, and we're just going to do a test to really see how this stamps. I did pick up one of these as well recently from Amazon. If I remember, I will link it in the description box down below. And it really literally has made all the difference. It makes stamping so much easier. Okay, so one thing you want to be careful with is to make sure that it doesn't move. So otherwise, I'm quite happy with that. It just looks like a little bit of a shadow. So again, let's just add a touch more tape just to hold this bit in place. Just there. So that bit's not moving. So we're going to pop it in. We're going to put our magnet on it. And again, it's just this production line. Let's just make sure. Ooh. So maybe we might be better off putting our magnet near the bottom. And you really want to try to get that good impression the first time around, just to make sure that it doesn't move. But again, making a template for something like this is a really easy way of keeping something in place. If you don't have like the sticky grids that have become quite popular these days, I mean, I don't have anything like that, but just using a template, this is just a little bit of waste that would have gone in the bin, but it's going to kind of come in handy. So I'm going to go through and just do all of this stamping, and then we can start to put our cards together. Okay, so there we have all of our happy birthdays. So that was quite quick. It didn't really take that long, probably about 10 minutes, maybe in total, to just stamp all of those. But definitely using stamping platform where you can keep that stamp in place. And then just creating, you know, if it's not something like a square where you can just really butt it up into that corner, yeah, using a template, or like I said, even just using the piece that you've die cut from, make sure there's a straight edge on it, butt that up against your stamping platform, and then, you know, you're sort of good to go with your homemade template there. But that was really, really easy to do. So you're going with that production line style of card making here. So what I think I'm going to do next is glue all of my background pieces onto the cards. I'm going to glue then our sentiments onto our glitter mats, and then we can assemble the cards together. Okay, so that is all of the gluing done. So you might have noticed sort of in between that, my hands did start to cramp up squeezing the glue bottle. Whether that's because, like I said, it is colder and the glue sort of isn't moving quite as freely, I don't know. Or maybe, yeah, just sort of generally like my hands sort of knuckle area is kind of hurting a little bit. But I sort of persevered with it and we are continuing. So we've got so I don't know if you've seen at one point there, I realised that I had this card that I'd obviously scored to use for something and never did. I obviously put it back into my pile. So I mean, the thing is, we could, you know, we could still use it actually if we, let's have a little look, rather than wasting it, since we did put the patterned paper on there. Let's just sort of score it. So we could yeah, just add some paper to it, add some paper to that piece. So we're not going to waste it, but yeah, obviously I didn't realise that was in there. So we are sort of one card down there, but that's not a problem. And basically let's start with these male ones first. So I kind of separated them out. So because of the tones that's in this one, I went for this more, although we don't want a rose gold in there. Obviously didn't realise that one was there. Maybe we'll just take a gold. So just in terms of the tones of the paper, I've gone for greys, silver, sorry, because that is a little bit more masculine. We've got more of that kind of bronze colour, and then we do have one gold. So my initial thought really was to just pop it straight into the middle, but we could then also maybe just pop it to the side. So we'll see how we get on. I've also got my huge roll of Chloe's Creative Cards foam squares here, and I'm just going to kind of bring that in. I'm literally just going to do one on the back, and yeah, let's just sort of pop it on there. So again, you know, we're just making some really super simple cards. I'm going to just divide these out. Let's bring it down a little bit. And then we can kind of decide, because we've got sort of browns and things in here, it is going to work with this bronze colour as well. And yeah, we're just going to pop it into the corner. So, you know, lots of cards here, which is going to be perfect for the year ahead. I am a little bit terrible considering I make so many cards. I'm not the greatest at remembering to send them out, to be honest. I'm always forgetting people's birthday. And then I never like to really send belated cards because I feel like it just alerts people to the fact that I have more than likely forgotten that it was somebody's birthday. But this means then we've got, you know, these cards here ready to go again. If anyone asks me for a last minute card, then you know, we've got cards here ready to go again, both masculine and feminine cards. But then yeah, also if I see that it's somebody's birthday coming up, maybe I don't have time to necessarily make a card, then I've got one here, like I said, all ready to go, which is great. And again, this is an easy way, one, to use up a lot of a paper pad, which is fantastic. Obviously I don't want to have it just sort of lying around and really never ever using it, so it's a great way to use up oh, that was lucky, maybe I was actually one short, but yeah, it just means then that I'm using up the papers, I'm using up my supplies, And yeah, I've got sort of cards here on hand, and again, it's easy then to just go with it and sort of just do some really easy crafting to help get that mojo back. So there is quite a bit of bulk to this now, because these foam squares are quite big. They are, yeah, sort of just under 1/4 inch, so they are quite bulky, and they are all in the same place. Obviously keep that in mind if you don't want the bulk, or in terms of storage you don't want that bulk. I mean, you could just turn them that way, it makes it nice and even, but yeah, if you don't want that bulk, then definitely glue them flat rather than adding that sort of dimension. So let's just clear these away. But yeah, I am hoping that this is going to bring back, like I said, that kind of crafty mojo for me. I've got sort of loads of ideas of what it is that I want to do, but it's kind of sitting down and actually, you know, doing them is the hardest thing, can be sort of the hardest thing to really do. Again, so I do my commission work, which I'm so grateful that they still want me to do the commission work. Do I want to put this? Let's just do a couple in the middle. Yeah, so I'm still super grateful that they're asking me to do commissions for the magazines, and I do enjoy it because it sort of challenges me a little bit in terms of, you know, using a particular I don't know, whether it's this colour scheme, whether it's a particular product or a concept, you know, a technique, whatever it is. Yeah, I do really enjoy kind of being able to challenge myself, but I've been kind of unsure really of where the direction of my channel is going. I've got a lot of things sort of going on this year, so it's not necessarily going as according to plan. Obviously, I had my papers that I was planning to bring out every month. I've struggled to kind of work on those this month. I have got a few, I'm not sure how many, but I do have a few that I have created, which I do really love. I've gone for kind of purples. I think it was purple shades more than anything else. So yeah, we've got that. So I'm hoping, because obviously I have got my website that I've designed and I am paying for that, and I really don't want to kind of waste, you know, waste sort of having that up and going. I do still have my stamp sets left for sale as well. If you're interested in those, the sentiment builder is reduced, so definitely check that out. There is a link to the website in the description box down below. But yeah, I'm just unsure really of where the direction of my channel's going. I'm definitely bringing back the magazines, just trying to get back into it as best I can. But it can be quite difficult. So I don't know, you probably find that a lot of content creators do go through this, whether it is going through actually talking about it, you know, to, you know, their audience, to you guys. I do really enjoy having my YouTube channel, and I'm really thankful for like everybody who watches my videos and comments and likes and subscribes and everything like that. And I think I'm coming up, I think it'll be the end of February, I'd be coming up to my 3-year anniversary here on YouTube, and I'm really happy with the progression of my channel and that. But it can be a lot of work kind of making these videos and making you know, 2 to 3 videos each week, coming up with ideas of what it is that you want to make videos on, getting past any sort of creative block that we do kind of inevitably go through. But then also just the amount of time that it takes to kind of plan something out, film it, edit it, upload it, do everything that goes with that. It is very time consuming, and you don't always get a lot back. I mean, I never want to kind of complain about, you know, the sort of financial sides of trying to run like a crafty business, trying to have a YouTube channel, things like that. I do have, well, I am now part-time, but I do have another job, so this is kind of a hobby kind of turned business, which, yeah, I do really, really enjoy, but it's being able to kind of balance the amount of time that it takes to create a you know, to create a video, like I said, and edit it and sit and do that sort of 3 times a week, plus doing anything else that you kind of want to try and do, work and relax and things. It can be quite challenging, and it's not always financially the most rewarding thing in the world. So I do think a lot of content creators do go through that, but it is just trying to kind of yeah, it's just trying to get that sort of mojo and get back into it and kind of enjoy it and things, that we try really hard to make sure that we kind of carry on for you guys. So kind of the best way that you can kind of support is by watching the videos and watching as much of the videos as possible, to comment. I do really try really hard to at least like every comment that I get, if not try to answer back all of my comments. I'm not always the best at it, unfortunately, but I do try really hard. But yeah, just sort of giving the videos a thumbs up, subscribing if you aren't subscribed, you know, that really does help to push the content out, which means then that we do get rewarded a little bit more. I'll try to remember to put a link in the description box down below. I do have a buy me a coffee page. I need to take a look at it. I did sign up for it, but I didn't really do much more to it than that. So if you do feel like you want to be able to support me a little bit more, than just watching the videos, then yeah, going over to buy me a coffee, and yeah, just anything to kind of help support is always massively appreciated. That was part of my plan this year, to really start to see what I could kind of give back to you guys. I've just thought I might stamp on the inside. I might do a stamp on the inside. So yeah, you guys can do that to kind of help support. If you want to support in a slightly more financial way, you can give what do you want to do on your special day? What a great reason to celebrate. Let's just do that. But yeah, any sort of support that you can give, like I said, is greatly appreciated. It does take a lot of time and effort to kind of you know, go through and create videos and things like that for you guys. And especially, my goal has always been to make it or make my videos as good as possible, like the quality of them as good as possible, trying to edit kind of things out that don't really need to be there. That didn't stamp very well, did it? I don't think I've used this stamp set for such a long time. I've had it ages now. It was a Crafter's Companion one. It's just a sort of really simple happy birthday. But it seems to be kind of beading up. So maybe I might only do, yeah, this isn't really stamping very well. Let's try the Versafine. That might give us a better impression. I mean, it's not the straightest. Again, I could get my largest stamping platform out and do it properly in there, but that's better. Yeah, I'm just gonna stamp it by hand. So this video's been probably a lot longer than any of my other videos. I think all of these cards we've made 30 something. It's probably taken me an hour and a half, something like that. So we'll kind of be speeding through some of the sort of production of making these cards. But yeah, sometimes it's nice just to have a little bit of a crafty chat with you guys. Hopefully it wasn't too kind of down in the dumps. I think the best thing to do if you have felt like you've lost your crafty mojo is to just try and make some really easy cards, like these ones that I've created today. It has been nice and yeah, nice and easy just to go through that production line style. But yeah, definitely a lot chattier. So I'm hoping that you guys don't mind that I have just kind of chatted away. Normally I kind of like to try and stick to what is going on in the video and you know what it is that I'm doing, but sometimes we just need to kind of talk these things through, and especially with you guys, because you'll all know, you know, what it's like if you've lost your crafty mojo and things like that. Any advice that you might have, you know, feel free to leave a comment down below. Is always greatly appreciated, and you know, we are a community and that, so we all do try to support each other as much as we possibly can. And I think that's what's great about the crafting community, is everyone is so lovely. We're all very patient, and yeah, it's just such a lovely community to be a part of. You get to be creative. It's kind of that creative outlet, and I think that's always what is a bit of a shame, is when you have a little bit of a block for whatever reason, or you kind of have that time, you know, where things aren't quite going as you want them to go. It's also such a shame, because if you are creative, you kind of use that as your outlet, but if you don't really have that there as your outlet, it can be quite difficult. I've spent a lot of time over the last few weeks just kind of sat on the sofa, feeling very lethargic, quite tired and that, and just not really getting a lot done. So yeah, to not have that creative outlet that maybe you do rely on can be, yeah, like I said, quite difficult. But I've enjoyed creating these cards. I'm really happy with how they've turned out. So again, this could be like a whole year's worth of cards for you. And it's really not taken that long to kind of put these together. So I didn't realise that my camera had stopped recording, to be honest. So not really sure where that ended up. But yeah, so that is, I think it was 31 cards that I've created in total. And then we've stamped a sentiment on the inside. So I really enjoyed creating these. I hope this video has been okay for you guys. It's not the usual video that I do create. Again, very, very chatty, a lot more than what I usually create, but sometimes it's good just to be able to talk out loud, even though technically I'm talking to myself. I know that once this, you know, reaches you guys, I am speaking to all of you, which is nice. But yeah, let me know, like I said at the beginning, if you do go through a kind of crafty lull, kind of what you do to get out of it. This has been really nice, really easy way of creating cards, and just kind of... Okay, so then my battery died. You know when you've been talking too long, because your battery just goes. But so yeah, I've done a lot of talking in this video. Hopefully it's been okay for you guys. It's been nice for me to kind of talk through what I've been feeling. If you've got any advice or anything, then again, drop me a comment down below. It is greatly appreciated. Again, if you do want to help to kind of support my channel and kind of yeah, just sort of be there, you know, commenting, liking, watching as much of the video as possible, and subscribing if you haven't. Again, I will leave a link to that Buy Me a Coffee if you want to be able to support me in a different way. It is always hugely appreciated there. So that's going to be it for this video. Join me in the next one, which will be next week. Again, we've got a couple of magazine videos that I'm hoping to do videos on. I've got a couple of other ideas that I really just need to sit down and kind of get to doing, really. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. Thanks very much for watching, and happy crafting.